Recorded live with little or no editing, it's Defense Up Cosmic Crucible Edition. We've got a small TCP roster coming in at Silver 3 in Crucible. We don't often get to look at people who are just starting these Crucibles and putting these beginner kind of defenses, so I hope this works well for you. If you're one of those big boys looking for the cutting edge of what to do in Masters high end, well, then go check out somebody else. Prplestiky was helping me with these today. He was on voice, not to mention chat. So if you don't like any of the recommendations coming through, be sure to go visit Prplestiky and complain to him. I will redirect all negativity to somebody else because I don't want to deal with it. All right, team number 1. This is the Hero Asgard team. The thing I don't like about it is you've got the 3-piece in the middle of the big tunes. Now there is a counter. It is OG Spider-Man with Cloak and Dagger plus Star-Lord. Not Star-Lord, T'Challa. Old school Star-Lord, Peter Quill. And he feeds Dagger the energy. It's a little wombo combo. OG Spider-Man putting the defense down on the team, and then they just blow him up and kill them all before anything happens, right? So if you have them clumped together, there's a better chance that Spider-Man's going to get all of them with the defense down. I don't think it's a good choice to do that. There's some other stuff going on with that one, so I like to spread them out. I think we should probably change places with Thor and Heimdall. I'm getting better with my camera. You see that? Anyway, change places with Thor and Heimdall. That's probably going to break that up a little bit. I don't know if it's going to change the outcome of that match. The biggest thing that we can do to fix this, though, is change the ISO on Thor. We want to go Raider. 100% certain we want Raider. The math is in. It's a much greater effect, especially the bigger your characters get, the more it amplifies. The Raider ISO is what you want, critting and blowing stuff up. So change that. You can do Mighty Thor and Valkyrie as Raider as well if you like, but they also work well as strikers. That's just fine. And Sif, Raider, Fortifier, kind of whatever you want. I like her as a Raider myself. I think just getting more vulnerables on the field for more damage to occur is the way to go. So for me, this is a B team. Definitely change that ISO on Thor. Probably give him a placement change. Doesn't cost you anything. It might help. I don't know. Moving on to team number 2 is the Infinity Watch minus Adam Warlock. We had a big discussion in chat about this one. Do you try to unlock Adam Warlock, who is his mission campaign thing is running right now as we speak? So do you push to unlock him? Do you want to build X Factor and Jubilee to unlock him when Jubilee is going to be outdated with the new raid team on the coming into the game? And X Factor, I mean, X Factor is just old, man. So I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. We kind of came to the conclusion that we're leaning towards not building Adam Warlock. In fact, not even building Infinity Watch at this point for newer players. If you don't already have the full team unlocked and have the stars on them, then you should probably just let it go. This one, Renee's got a lot of stars they need to put in here. And Silver Surfer is a pretty decent replacement, although I would like to see Silver Surfer as a Raider for defense. When you're not controlling him and guiding him into those vulnerables, you're just not getting the value out of Striker on the AI. So switch him over to a Raider is probably the thing to do if you can spare those ions and ISOs and stuff. But otherwise, this is a pretty decent team. It soaks up a lot of attacks, not as much without Adam Warlock, because he gives them that safeguard. You could kind of strip away their positive effects without him and get rid of them and stuff, especially with Age of X, getting rid of the revives and stuff. It's not doing as well. But remember, 8 million TCP on this roster, so they're doing what they can, and I think this is pretty decent. I'm going to go B+ for this. I want to see that ISO change on Surfer, but otherwise don't really worry about this team too much. Okay, team number 3 is the Symbiotes. We hate this. This is disgusting. Probably, if this is what you've got for defense, if this is all you can afford to put on defense, then at least swap out Venom with Doc Ock. You're going to get a lot more value. Doc Ock has that Spider-Mania synergy. It's going to work pretty well there. So put Doc Ock in here in place of Venom. Otherwise, ISO's placement, all that stuff is great here. I just don't like this. I just don't know if there's anything more in that 8 million TCP roster that we can squeeze out. So let's make that one change. I'm giving this a B-. I'm not too excited about it. Team number 4 is the Bionic Avengers. Crazy to believe, but Prplestiky in Masters runs Bionic Avengers on his defense. And he says sometimes it works. Sometimes it works. So I think he's going a little heavier on the offense, and that's why it's something to do. A lot of people get tricked up by this, but at a lower level, this is a great team to invest in. One, you need them for raids. They're going to have a lot of longevity, so get cracking on this. Two, other people don't know what to do with this. A lot of times people go into this and not realize that Viv is going to flip the negative effects and blind the other team and change the course of that matchup. And it can go sideways if you can't control her. Not to mention, Hulkbuster spraying the field with slows and bleeds and stuff like that. So it's actually a pretty decent team for defense when you don't have these hyper awesome hybrid stuff that they're using at the high end. I like this team. I like everything that's going on. An alternative to Raider on Viv is Striker. I run her as a Striker for raids. I think it's a little bit better, but you can run her as a Raider. Hopefully you get that crit on her special, which will kill the opponent and spread the ability block around. My music stopped playing. I don't know why. Whatever. Anyway. The most important thing that I'm going to recommend to Rennie here is that they should be hunting down those red stars for Viv and Hulkbuster. I think that's going to add a lot of value here. You could even put some red stars on Iron Man if you wanted to. He's the least exciting member of this team, even with his rework. I like other stuff going on in here. Let me see if I can't make this music to play. There we go. All right, for me, this is an A-. Just touch up the red stars on those two characters. I think it's okay. Maybe not something high-end players want to use, but it is a thing we can do. You're not going to use it for offense they go into Web Warriors pretty well. That's about it. All right, team number 5 is the Young Avengers. Most of the time, I like using Young Avengers for defense only when you're running a Red Hulk team or a Gamma team on defense as well. Something that requires a Doom counter. However, newer players can put this up to bat and get a lot of value out of it because your opponents may not have Doom unlocked. Your opponents may not have the A-Force unlocked, which means they're going to have to use one of the other counters, which still works, but takes a lot of turns, right? This will soak up a ton of efficiency at lower level play. Not to mention, I think this team is just fantastic everywhere. This is one of those teams that's sturdy. It's idiot proof. I use it. That's proof that it's idiot proof. So I like this. Placement change is absolutely necessary, however. We want to get Squirrel Girl off the outside, move her into the middle placement. We want to get Kate Bishop away from Ms. Marvel, so swap places with her and America Chavez. America Chavez is pretty tanky, and we'll take those hits. Man, my music just won't play. Okay, we're going to go a cappella today. So you could change Kate Bishop's ISO to a skirmisher if you want that added focus boost. I like that. But I'm not docking you for Striker because of that Striker's combo with Miss Marvel, so it's pretty good. Definitely need a placement change, however, so that brings you down to an A- on this team. Get Squirrel Girl in the middle there. If they do have the A-Force with Doom counter, you want her in the middle so that the way Spider-Woman chains, you don't know which way it's going to go. It doesn't cover your whole team. So, all right, moving on to our last team, which is not Gamma in 6. I wish it was. I hope Rennie gets that Gamma team going and puts some sort of a Red Hulk counter or a Red Hulk defense in 6. Works really well, especially in combination with Team 5 here. But this is the Weapon X with Doc Ock. Now we're going to take Doc Ock off of this team, move him over to the Symbiotes, and we're going to put Wolverine back in on this team. Wolverine gets the Age of X hero mutant bonus, which is really good. You want to run Wolverine as a striker, so when he goes into the vulnerables, he comes back with his basic and gains speed up. He's a pretty slow character, but if you get speed up on his counterattack, then that helps him to get to his ultimate, which can just delete a fool, especially with the Age of All X bonus. Everything else about this is great. I like the ISOs, the placement. Wolverine will fit in nicely right where Doc Ock goes. All that stuff, it's pretty good. If your Wolverine is really small, maybe put him to the outside with Long Claws there next to Omega Red. Omega Red is actually a lot juicier power-wise than the rest of his roster, in fact. So this actually is a deceivingly powerful team. Omega Red really carries the Weapon X team, and he's a big portion of this power level here in the corner, so it's not too bad. Let's just get Wolverine in there in place of Doc Ock. I'm going to give this team a B+. It's looking pretty good. So we didn't see anything crazy going on in this roster. I'd like to see a Gamma in here to pair with this Young Avenger team. Bionic Avengers is okay. We can try them out at any level. If you're at the high end, this is going to be a team you want to use if you're pushing for a hard offense and saving, everything for your offensive comps. I'm thinking that as we grow our rosters and as Rennie grows their roster, you start bringing in the meta defenses and letting them trickle into your roster without going off the course and building old stuff like Infinity Watch. Instead, just build the new stuff as it comes in, let it filter in. And as you get better and climb the ranks in Crucible, start pushing for a stronger and stronger defense and becoming better and better with hybrid compositions to take down your opponents and show your true skill in Cosmic Crucible. I think that's the way to go. But what do I know? I've just been playing this game nearly since launch. Anyway, have a good game. Don't just be good to yourself, be good to others too, or whatever my tagline is. I think I'm dealing with early onset Alzheimer's these days. I'll catch you next time. Bye.